A very good morning, my dear students. Hope you all are well and safe by the grace of the Almighty Allah. I am Sheuly Akter, lecturer, Department of English, Government Bangla College. As it's my first class with you in second year, my dear students, I'd like to introduce the course first. Your English second paper has been divided into two parts. One is for grammar part and another is for writing part. So in your grammar part, there are 12 categories of grammar. These are articles, use of prepositions, special use of some words and phrases, completing sentences, use of the right form of verbs, transformation of sentences, direct and indirect speech, pronoun reference, modifier, sentence connectors, synonym and antonym. And the final is finally punctuation. These are included in your syllabus for English second paper, okay? And in your writing part, you have formal email writing, report writing, paragraph writing, and composition writing. So at the very beginning of my class, actually, I'd like to select the topic that is actually an essential part of English grammar. And it is also called the soul of English grammar. So my dear students, can you guess what is it? Yes, my dear students, I'm talking about tense. Though it's not directly included in your syllabus, but it works actually as the foundation of English grammar. That means if you want to construct a building, you need the foundation first. Tense is like the foundation of English grammar. So, why it is an essential part of English grammar? What are the reasons? Actually, without proper knowledge of tense, you can't understand the other category of grammar, like right form of verbs, voice, narration, etc. Actually, they're closely interconnected. And in writing, you can't write down properly without proper knowledge of tense. In my own experience, actually, I have seen many students who memorized all the structures of tense, but they can't use it whenever they are going to write something. Because they memorize the rules, but they cannot use it properly. So for free writing, you must know the uses of these rules and structures, okay? And in speaking, you need tense for uttering accurate English. So get it, my dear students? Tense is an essential part of English grammar. So at the very beginning, you will have to know all the rules of tense, and you will have to know the uses of these rules, okay? So we'll start the topic, the definition of tense. What is tense? The word tense comes from the Latin word tempus, which means time. So tense denotes the time of action of verb. So it refers the time when the action is taken place. In English grammar, verbs are often used in a way that it indicates or denotes the time when an event occurred. These verbs that take up different forms to indicate the time of an action, event or condition by changing its form are called as tenses. Okay, is it clear? So we can say Tense is a grammar term used to indicate whether a sentence is an action in the past, the present, or the future. So based on time frame, the verb tenses may be categorized according to the time frame. So we can categorize into three types. These are present tense, past tense, and the final one, future tense. So we'll see the glimpse of idea of this tense. What is present tense? Present tense expresses an unchanging, repeated, and recurring action or situation that exists only now. It can also represent a widespread truth. And what is present tense? What is past tense? Past tense expresses an action or situation that was started and finished in the past. And what is future tense? Future tense expresses an action or situation that will occur in the future. So is it clear? So now we'll see the division or the classification of present tense. Present tense is classified into four types or four categories. These are present indefinite tense or simple present tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, present perfect continuous tense. So next we'll see present simple present tense. When a sentence is, so what is simple present tense? When a sentence is used to describe an action that's happening at present and does not indicate when the action is expected to end. So what is simple present tense? That means here simple present tense is used to describe an action, an event or condition that is happening or occurring in the present and at the moment of speaking and writing. That means the action is taken place at present. So what is the structure? Do you know the structure of simple present tense? It's very easy. That means subject plus verb, the base form of verb and object. So there are some examples here. I write a letter, the sun sets in the west, they do not read lessons. Does water maintain its surface level? The present indefinite tense, also known as simple present tense as we know, denotes a habitual fact, historical truth or universal truth. It's very important. That means there are some indicators of simple present tense. What are those? These are habitual fact, historical truth and universal truth. For example, the sun rises in the east. My mother reads the Quran every morning. Emperor Akbar ascends the throne in 1556. And generally, simple present tense is used to indicate an action which happens always, regularly, every day, daily, normally, generally, usually, and occasionally. So these are the indicators. For example, a good boy prepares his lesson regularly. When does Mr. Karim take his food normally? So these are actually the indicators to identify that which sentence is present indefinite tense. Okay? So the next one, present continuous tense. So always try to remember the key point. Here the key point is continuous. That means present continuous usually defines an act that is going on at the time of speaking. That means the process is going on. It emphasizes the continuous nature of an action. Is it clear, my dear students? That means present indefinite, present continuous tense refers or emphasizes the continuous nature of an action. What is the structure? Structure is subject plus be verb. That means am is plus verb and ing and plus object. So there are some examples here. Mom, I'm playing football. Are they still living here? Please wait for a moment. Sam is talking to Mary. We're late. He will be waiting for us at the restaurant now. Okay? And the next one is, so there are some also indicators of present continuous tense. These are now, continually, perpetually, at this moment, right now, this season, this year, forever, etc. are usually the signs of a verb to take present progressive tense or present continuous tense. However, the signs are not necessary all the time for a verb to present progressive tense, but these are the common indicators of present continuous tense. For example, she is singing a song now. They are watching movie at this moment. So next we'll move on. Present perfect tense. The present perfect tense explains the incident that has happened in the past and that continues until the present time. That means present perfect tense is used to describe action that began in the past and continues into the present or had just been completed. That means the work has been done, but the result in your hand. If someone asks you, are you hungry? If you just give the answer, I have eaten rice just now. Or if you say, I have just now eaten rice, that means you are giving your answer indirectly, that you are not hungry at all. So, the structure of present perfect tense, subject plus be verb, have or has, and verb is actually past participle form plus object. Okay? There are some examples here. She has learned a lesson. She has not. It has not rained. Has it rained? So these are the examples of present perfect tense. So there are also some indicators of present perfect tense. These are just now, already, yet, ever, lately, recently. That means lately and recently, these are the indicators of present perfect tense. For example, I have seen him recently. He has gone out just now. So you will have to remember all these indicators, okay, for better understanding. So the last category of present tense, that is present perfect continuous tense. Usually present perfect continuous tense is used for a situation that has occurred in the past and which continues until that moment. That means it began in the past and continues into the present. That is present perfect continuous tense. Okay. The structure of present perfect continuous tense is subject plus have been or has been plus verb plus ing plus object. So there are some important thing here. This is since and for. When you will have to use since and when you will have to use for. Since actually if the point of time is mentioned. When the time is very specific, you will have to use since. And for when the duration of time is specified. That means when there is no specification of time. Okay? It will be clear for you by analyzing the given examples. For example, it has been raining for 3 days. Read the example very carefully, okay? It has been raining for 3 days. That means we know 7 days in a week. So we are not sure in which days the speaker is, actually here does not mention which days are included in these 3 days, okay? So here actually the duration of time is specified here. That's why we have to use for. And the same example is he has not been playing cricket for 2 hours. That means 20. We are not sure in which 2 hours from 24 hours. Okay. So here we'll have to use for. And the final one is have they been watching television since 6 o'clock? Read the example very carefully. Here the time is very specific, 6. Okay, that's why here we'll have to use since. As the point of time is mentioned here, we'll have to use since. Is it clear, my dear students? Then in which situation you will have to use since, and in which situation you will have to use for. Okay. So now we'll move on. Past tense. So we know these are the classification of past tense: past indefinite tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, and the final one, past perfect continuous tense. So simple past tense. What is simple past tense? Simple past tense is used to narrate an action of the past. In a sentence, yesterday, ago, last, since, etc. is used. And structure of simple past tense is very easy actually. Subject plus verb, past form plus object. That means when the action is taken place at past form. Okay, in past tense actually the action is taken place in past time. Okay, you will have to remember this thing, and it will be clear for you for analyzing this, for analyzing the giving examples. He gave me a gift. Here the form, here see the form of the verb gave. This is past form. And the next one, he did not write a letter to him. Did you answer correctly? So all these are the example of past indefinite tense or simple past tense. There are some indicators of simple past tense. These are yesterday, ago, long since, last night. These are the indicators of past indefinite tense. Okay. I came home yesterday. I came home yesterday. He left home last night. So the verb will be past form. So the next one, past continuous tense. This form of tense indicates activities that have already happened in the past and have been completed before the time of mention. Okay, that means the process was going on in the past. Okay, it was happened in the past and have been completed before the time of mentioned. And the structure of past continuous tense: subject, was, were, plus verb and ing form, verb in its ing form, and object. Okay. He was taking exam last night. You were not waiting for him yesterday. Was it raining yesterday? So these are the examples of past continuous tense. Past perfect tense. It is used to express an action which has occurred in past, usually a long time ago, and action which has occurred in past before another action in past. Okay? So, subject, here the structure of past perfect tense. Subject plus had plus third form of verb or past participle and plus object. For example, they had visited a doctor. I had not finished my work last year. Had it rained heavily last month? So these are the example of past perfect tense, but it will be clear for you by analyzing these two examples. The first one is the patient had died before the doctor came. So here just remember the key word before. So always before we'll have to use past perfect tense, and after before we'll have to use, that means before we'll have to use past perfect tense before, okay, and after before we'll have to use past indefinite tense. And the second example is see, the patient died after the doctor had come. So we'll have to use past perfect tense, the word after, okay. This is the key word. You will have to remember this word. This is very important for right form of verbs. And before, after we'll have to use the patient died, past indefinite tense, okay. So in some, I have seen many students actually face problem whenever they are going to solve this problems, okay, solve this example. So just try to remember this one, okay. So the next one, past perfect continuous tense. A continuous action that was completed sometime in the past falls under past perfect continuous tense. Now, the structure of past perfect continuous tense, subject plus had plus been plus verb ing plus object. So it will be clear for you by the given examples. So I had been waiting for him for 1 hour, okay. They had not been watching television since 6 o'clock. Had she been working in this office since 2007? So just try to remember the structure of the rules and just try to understand the example, that in which situation you have to use the rules, okay. And the final category is, actually is future tense. Future indefinite tense. Future tense is classified, 4 types. These are future indefinite tense, future continuous tense, future perfect tense, and the final one is future perfect continuous tense. So what is simple future tense? This tense is used for those sentences which refer to the actions which will occur later in future. That means it refers the action that is taken place, that will take place in future, okay. And the structure of simple future tense, subject, shall or will plus verb, that means present form of verb, and plus object. He will start a business. The pattern of exam will not change next year. Will they buy a new car? So these are the examples of present future tense, a simple future tense. Actually, these are very easy. If you understand the present tense very clearly, I think the next two categories will be very easier for you. That means past tense and future tense. The next, future continuous tense. This tense defines those acts which will be continued at a future point of time. That means it will be continued at the future point of time. Okay? Now, what's the structure of future continuous tense? Subject plus shall or will plus be plus present participle of the verb. That means you will have to add ing and plus object. For examples, I'll not be waiting for you. You will be feeling well tomorrow. I shall be watching the new movie next year. And the next one is future perfect tense. This tense is used to express an action that is predicted to be finished within a certain span of time in the future. And what's the structure? Subject plus shall or will plus have plus past participle form of the verb plus object. For examples, he will have finished his work. You will have left for London by the time this bridge gets renewed. Okay? Calvin will have gone by the time you reach there by bus. And the final one is future perfect continuous tense. This tense form indicates an action that is continuous and at some point in the future it will be completed. Okay, that means it refers an action that is continuous and it refers the some point in the future that it will be completed. And the structure of future perfect continuous tense, subject plus shall or will plus have plus been plus the past participle form of the verb. That means we'll have to add ing, and after ing we'll have to use object. For examples, we shall have been waiting for him until he comes back. They will not have shifted to a new home. Will I have bought a computer? So these are the examples of future perfect continuous tense. So by discussing those categories of tense, what do you understand? Do you find any similarity among those categories? Yes, my dear students, if you see the similarity of the structure, you notice it, because if you fully comprehend, if you understand the present tense perfectly, then you can realize the similarity of the structure, just changes the form. Present tense, past tense, future tense, like this. So you'll have to understand all the rules and structures of the tense very carefully. At the same time, you will have to practice it at home. Always remember, just memorizing is not enough for understanding. You will have to practice it through writing. You will have to practice it through problem solving. Because suppose you will memorize all the structure of tense, but in which way you will understand that you were you have sound knowledge on tense? How can you judge yourself? This is the technique that whenever you just take your pen and paper and start to write something. Whenever you see that you can use your structure in perfect way. That means you can form the sentence, you can make the sentence properly, and you can understand the situation. Then you can understand, yes, you have sound knowledge on tense. At the same time, you can practice in your book actually the previous question. You can solve this question, and through solve this question you can judge yourself. That means you have acquired the knowledge of tense or not. Okay, my dear student, get it? Always remember, without proper knowledge of tense, you can't understand the other category of grammar properly. This is the grammar, tense is the basic premise of grammar, English grammar. So you must know all the rules of grammar, and you will have to know the uses of structure in a perfect way. That's all for today's class, my dear students. Always remember, English second paper is like science, especially grammar part. It's very easy to get 0 out of 60. But if you want to get 60 out of 60, you will have to work hard for that, okay? So just, you have enough time now. This is high time. Just develop yourself. Try to utilize your leisure time. Practice more and more at home. Try to find out your weakness and develop yourself and be stronger. Stay at home, my dear students, and be safe. Thank you.